Good morning, good afternoon. It is Saturday. Happy Saturday to all. First, giving honor to the Most High for waking us up this morning, blessing us, and giving us another opportunity to be better today than we were yesterday. Amen. So me and my son are chilling. We took a vacation. He graduated last week. I'm so proud of him with honors. And we got a lot of stuff planned this summer. God willing, we'll be able to get it all done. That everything works out for our benefit. And yeah. So far, what have we done so far? So the first night we got here, we just chilled. We went and got something to eat. And we came back to the room and we just chilled for a little bit. And then went to bed because I had to start on some homework. And then the next day was pretty much the same because I had homework to do. So what we did was we got up, hey to whoever's on the live, and we went to the pool. So there's a pool at the hotel. We went to the pool, and later on went and got something to eat. Came back and I said, okay, I'm gonna do my homework, and then we're gonna go. We're gonna go to the boardwalk. We're gonna do all the rides. We're gonna do all the stuff that this town has to offer. That did not happen. Hey, Coach. This is stuff. Chelsea's obsessed with story times, huh? You love them story times, don't you? I'm about to be on here snitching, self-snitching like CDT do. Lady Di, good morning. Hey, Bestival. But, dang, look at Chelsea to knock me off my square. What was I saying? So anyways, I said, I'm going to work on my homework, and then we'll go out in the town and do all the stuff, right? Best of all, don't come in here with no BS. It's too early. It really is. Please. It's too early. If it's not a joke, I don't want to hear it. But, what happened? Oh, I spent 5 hours doing my homework. Now, mind you, the whole day, no, I used to. The whole day, I've been snapping at my son. And when I say snapping, I mean like yelling, but everything he was doing was getting on my last nerves. Like everything. The boy could just breathe and I'm like irritated, right? And so I'm working on my homework, and next thing I know, it's like 10 o'clock at night. Now, mind you, this is a party town, so everything is up. It doesn't stop, really, for the most part. Like even on the boardwalk, all of the things, all of the shops, all of the restaurants, everything doesn't close until 2. But by 10 o'clock, it was a wrap. Like we had gotten food. And you got to be mindful too. Like when you go to these places, when you go out of town and you go to like resorts, not out of the country, because everything is good out of the country. But when you're in the States and you go to these beach towns and you want to explore the city and stuff like that, they're banking on the visitors, you know, not the locals, but the visitors. So the quality of food is horrible because they're just cranking out. Thanks, Chelsea, for that poop, that happy poop. So there was this place, we're going down the highway, and it was like crabs for $49. Crab. So, you know, in Maryland, they have those Maryland crabs. And I'm not a big fan of the blue crab because I don't know how to crack them open and eat them properly. And to me, it's just not enough meat, honestly. There's too much shell and bone to get through just to get the meat. It's not worth it. I like crab legs, fine. So we find this place. It's like, pull over, get this, right? And you got to be mindful of those places that are just like advertising huge and telling you a good deal. The quality. So I was hungry by the time we went there. He wanted pizza. So I was like, we'll get you your pizza and we'll go and stop at this crab place. So it's about 35 minutes before our food was ready. I got a crab boil. And it was just dumped with Old Bay. I mean, it was like they just took the bucket and just went. The corn was like this small. The potatoes weren't even all the way done. Hey, Couch, how are you? Coach says, yeah, not a fan of crab meat that don't have enough. I know that's right. I'm not about to be opening up a whole bunch of crabs just to get a little bit of meat. It's not, to me, and the juice ain't worth the squeeze. But I think a lot of people like it just because of everything you got to go through, you know, take the shell off and all that stuff. Hey, team. Yes, happy Saturday. So we went and got the food and then came back and I was like, okay, we're going to eat. I'm going to do my homework. You can play your video game, watch TV, whatever. And of course, he has to have every device. He's got his Nintendo. He's got his iPad doing Roblox with his friends. And then he's got the TV on. I'm like, this is too much stimulation. I said, pick a struggle, one or the other. So he did his Roblox thing. Hey, Justo, what up? And I put my music on here, my study music. And I was able to knock my whole assignment out, which was basically a business proposal. Research, AI editing, appendixes, everything. But it took me 5 hours just in that one sitting. I had already done like maybe 2 hours of research and finishing my outline. And then I had to go back, perfect it, edit, add stuff, word it properly, all that stuff. And next thing I know, it's like 10. And I was like, oh my God, son, it's already 10 o'clock. And he's like, yeah, you didn't realize it? And I'm like, no. But let me tell you something. Once I was able to submit my assignment, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulder. Now, it's not due until tonight. And this was what? Thursday night. No, yeah, Thursday night. And I suddenly realized that's why I was snapping on my kid, because it's really, really hard for me to enjoy myself. It's hard for me to relax if I know I got something looming in the back that needs to be done. I don't know if any of you guys are like that, but if I got something in the back of my head or in the back of my mind that I know has to be done and it's going to require a lot of effort, it's really hard for me to relax until that thing is done. So I figured that's why I was snapping, because after that was done, everything was smooth sailing. We had a good day yesterday. We chilled. We did the things. We went out. We had a good day. Yesterday was great. What up, Jimmy? Jimry? Yeah, hit that like button. Klaus says, same. If I have a goal, I must get it completed before any fun. Exactly. And I try to tell that to my son too, like, work before play. Always get everything you done. And I tell him that, like, when it's time for him to do his chores, I'm like, son, I need you to vacuum. I need you to do this. I need you to sweep. Da, da, da. You knock all that out, then you can chill. But he want to sit there and be playing and jumping on stuff and doing cartwheels and going through his toy box. And I'm like, you just delaying. But to him, I guess that was fun. Last Science says mild OCD has its advantages. You think it's OCD? Is that what that is? Is that what that is? Because I've never been an OCD type. I always think about people that like clean excessively as OCD. But I know OCD can be utilized in different ways. But yeah. So it was like, soon as that assignment was submitted and done, I was just like, phew. So anyways, yesterday was a good day. We got out. We finally went down to the boardwalk area. Now where we are, the beach is right there, so we could just walk, but this is not where all the action is. The action is further down, south of the island, right? So, oh, we took a boat ride. I posted it. Make sure you guys watch my short. That man had the nerve to let my son drive. I'm sitting there on the thing trying to, because we had just finished eating. So we had got on this pontoon boat, and the guy was like, hey, I got to take it in for maintenance. It's 45 minutes away. There's restaurants and stuff down there if you guys want to ride. $45, and I'll bring you back. He said, but this isn't an official ride, but we'll take you. And we're like, fine, sure. As long as there's restaurants and something that we can do in the meantime, cool. So we rode with him, and we talked about real estate and the area. And the guy that originally came up to us and was like, hey, you guys looking for a ride? He's a partner in the company, and they have boats all over this whole island that take people out. There's a place where you can see the horses swim. What up, Scorpio Mama? What else? They do all kind of stuff. So anyways, I was just chit-chatting, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the weight had been lifted off my shoulders, so I was in a good mood. And the girl that was checking us in, her father actually owns the boating company. And Bishop was like, you're the daughter of the owner? That means you're rich, right? So we all just laughed or whatever. But he had just been on this money kick. Like, everything is about money, 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 money with my kid, you know? Like, oh, how much do you guys make doing these boats? How many boats do you have? What? I'm just like, son, cool it. Like, you can't, whatever. But it was just interesting, seeing how he, whatever, was interacting and was asking these questions and stuff. But the town that we're in, we were looking at just a lot of houses, going through the water. And I said, all these people actually live here? And he said, no. He said, all of these are rental properties. He said, people own these homes and then they rent it out for the summer, or they'll come back for the summer and then leave. But they Airbnb and rent all of this property out. And you guys should see some of these homes. I mean, crazy. And even for us to get out of where the station was parked, it's a canal with nothing but homes and boats along it. Have you guys ever been to Italy? You'll see like these big buildings and homes and all these boats along the canal that belong to like the owners and people who dock their boats there or whatever. But it was just really interesting. And he's saying that the town is actually less than 6,000 people of permanent residents, and he said, during the wintertime, it's ghost town here. And I was like, ooh, that sounds like heaven. He said, but during the summer, he said, we could have anywhere between 300 and 400,000 people in a day. He said, that's like during the 4th of July, Memorial Weekend, Labor Day. I said, I bet. But a ghost town near the ocean during the winter sounds like heaven to me. So I'm asking him, of course, about the property. And he said he's only been here a couple years. But the owner, the one that we met, is a contractor. And he said he actually built him and his wife's house out here a couple years ago. And he just captains the boats, it's something to do. He said, I'm not going to get rich doing this, but I enjoy it. And he was, what was his former job? I don't know. But I was looking at the real estate and stuff here. I got the newspaper just to see or whatever. I don't know if this is somewhere I would want to live permanently, but it looks nice. Yes, Miss Montgomery, I didn't know you were subscribed. Thank you. Happy Saturday. Let him be, she says. I've been busy traveling for work all week. Finally home. Good for you, Project Leroy, my boy. He been working. Now you can relax this weekend. That's good. Our future bank owner. Okay. I'm in the chat listening, making meatloaf, so my hands is busy. I got you, Scorpio Mama. My son likes meatloaf. My mom used to make meatloaf, and I always hated it. But my son loves meatloaf, but I don't like ground beef. I can't stand the smell. It makes my stomach turn. But I do cook him like steak, and like last week I made him some tacos with carnitas, you know, that meat that they have it chopped. It's like steak, but it's chopped a certain way. So I'll do stuff like that for him, but I can't do the ground beef. But that sounds good. 4th of July, my favorite holiday. Really? A-Team says it sounds like the winter is the greatest time. I know, that's right. I was thinking about that. I was like, I could probably book me at a good Airbnb for a good price out here during the winter time because ain't nobody going to be here. Lady Dice, the same here at our ocean shores. Most of the beautiful homes are rentals. Yep. That's right. Oh, freedom from fools. Okay. But I tell you what, like we were on the boardwalk yesterday and it's just, I just love like the diversity of people and just seeing all of these like young kids and young adults just behave. Like there was no ruckus, no rowdy, and I'm talking about it was packed, it was full last night. Nobody out of pocket, just beautiful young black girls. I mean, gorgeous, banging bodies. People from like all over. I heard different languages being spoken. One girl, I don't know if they were Russian or what, but she was just gorgeous, you know? And even I mean, no offense, but all the little white girls, like everybody's just in shape. They take care of themselves, just beautiful, mild mannered, just doing their business, just hanging with their friends, you know? And I'm looking at Bishop, I was like, this is going to be you one day. You're going to be out with your friends and just partying and behaving. You know, you could tell which kids were like athletes and which ones are stoners and just like to just chill. You know, it's just different vibes, you know? So I just love it. I just love it. I just love seeing it, you know? Families and, you know, all of that stuff. But no riffraff, nothing crazy. You ain't got to worry about no shootings out here. Like, just, it ain't like Virginia Beach where there's always some riffraff. Here, it's like, it's chill. Hey, Blinky Minky. How's it going? We need you to go back on Creek with Cree. Why? I'll probably go back up one time. She opens the panel too late. I'll be in the bed, just like bonnet on, half sleep, until Derek say something stupid, then I'm up like, what did he say? A-Team, I used to make it a lot back in the day. Yeah, meatloaf is just one of those easy staples. That's like me and my spaghetti. I make spaghetti at least like every 10 days. That's one of the things that I always make. You know, baked chicken or turkey wings, you know. Yeah, you like meatloaf too? Hey, First Last. Thanks, First Last. I know that's right, Blinky Minky. He said, give it to me. Coach says, that's what I love to see is diversity with everyone getting along. Yeah, all these kids, everybody just hanging out. You know, I'll be ear hustling, so I'll be hearing a couple of little different conversations. There was this one young man. First of all, there's like this sand sculpture that this guy takes care of. He sculpts it and then he keeps it watered so that it stays and he maintains it. And he's got the lights on it and it's got some scriptures on one. And it's a huge, I mean, just imagine these sand sculptures like 6 feet each. And he's got these lights on it. And then one is like of Jesus Christ. Really, really nice. And then like further down the boardwalk was this young white boy who was preaching the gospel and was talking about Jesus loves you. You know, it's not too late to turn away from your sins, blah, blah, blah. And my son was like, he's right in front of the Hooters. I know they don't like that, right? And I'm like, first of all, how do you know what a Hooter is? And secondly, stay in a kid's place. But, the boy was talking and saying stuff about God. And then I heard this group of kids come by and there was this girl, really, really cute white girl with her backpack on. She was on a mission. She was in the front of the pack and everybody was pretty much behind her and a couple of people beside her. And she was saying, he gonna tell me that Jesus loves me? Get the F out of here. You don't tell me. Da, da, da. And I was just like, whoa. So I just kind of fixated on her like, what's wrong with you? Like, who hurt you? Like, what? It was just wild to see her reaction that way. Like, she was generally mad that this young guy was telling her, that Jesus is the way. And I was just like, wow, is this what it's come to? It just, my stream of consciousness just went to a whole nother level in that moment. But I was just really in shock, and I was mainly sad for her, and I said a prayer, that God touches her in some kind of way, because the anger she had in that moment was crazy. But anyways, we're on the way down to the boardwalk, and I parked on like 23rd Street because you could see the rides and stuff. So, but what you see can be deceiving, right? Especially if you're blind like me. I thought we were a lot closer than what we actually were. So we pay for parking. We start to walking. We go to the boardwalk. We start to walking, and I was like, yo, this is a lot further than what I intended. So I was like, you know what? Let me take advantage and get some exercise in. Let's walk on the sand. So we walking on the sand. I said, son, we ain't gonna never make it there. I mean, at this point, it looked like it was a good mile away. I was like, we never gonna make it. He said, well, just walk close to the shore where it's flat. Then you could catch up. And I was like, you know what? You're so smart. So we migrated down closer to the water, and he's playing and stopping and picking up things. And I'm just like, we really ain't gonna never get here at this point, because he liked to sit on take a picture of me on this, do this. So we're walking, and Bishop was like, how about we just run? Let's run, Mom. I said, Bishop, I can't run. He goes, why not? I said, my back is still recovering, like I can't run. And I said, I was like, what'd I say? I said, I could run if it's like an emergency. Like if I had to, you know what I'm saying? Like if something like life or death. And so he pretended like he had a knife, and he goes, now run, run. And I'm like, that's not going to work either, because I know you ain't really got a knife. But he said something else that was funny as hell that I wanted to share, and I cannot remember. It has something to do with wigs. Something to do with wigs. He says, he said, pretend I snatched your wig off and you running after me. I said, this ain't a wig. I said, these are hair extensions. He goes, what's the difference? It's fake. It's not yours. My son hates it when I wear fake hair. Anything fake, he hates it. We be in bed by panel time. The lesson of the day is teach our kids how to use strategy, okay? Capacity is irrational. You got to be able to rationalize them. And when I was getting on him that first day we were here, y'all, he really was effing. He was doing some dumb stuff. Like I had got him, they have breakfast here. I got him a cran apple juice. It was full. It was in a coffee cup. And it was sitting there, and he likes to reach for things without looking because he wants to stay locked into his devices. He knocked the whole cup of juice off onto the floor, onto the chargers, and I'm like, and he's like stuck, and I'm like, get it up, like what are you doing? Get it up. So he goes and gets a towel and he's dabbing it, and it's like a whole thing. I'm like, bro, that's not gonna work. And I'll be thinking, like, when certain things happen and his responses or his reactions are just not common sense, I have to think to myself, okay, maybe this is something I never taught you, right? But it's like, you know how to clean up a mess, so what are we doing? Like, it was just frustrating. I said, open the towel up, lay it on there, grab all of the juice, wipe it down. So he wipes it. I said, now those things, the all of the chargers, you got to clean those off, because if it gets sticky in there, they're not going to work. I said, now that you've gotten it all up with the dry towel, now what do you do? And he's like, and I'm like, for real, you really don't know what to do next? And he's like, no, that's what I'm asking. I was like, wow. I was like, I never really taught you this. I was like, you got to go in, rinse it off, get it wet. I said, because, so I broke it down. I was like, okay, so it's liquid. I said, what's something about the liquid that could cause harm to the furniture and the charger? I said, what do you see? What's the consistency of it? What does it look like? He goes, what's wet? I was like, okay, what else? What's in it that can cause issues? Sugar? Yeah, sugar. What else? It's got color. So you need to wipe that off. Rinse it off, wring it out, wipe everything down. And I was like, man, I got to do better. And then one time he was at home and I told him to do something to the blinds. And he went, and I was like, oh my gosh, my blinds. What are you doing? That's not how you open the blinds. So if you ever come by my house and you know how you see them ghetto people where the blinds be half on, half off, or just doing like this and all that, one of my blinds look like that. So ghetto. Oh, I hate blinds like that. But these particular blinds upstairs had the pull string. And I was like, I never showed you how to work these blinds like this. And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, you see these strings? Grab both, pull them at the same time. I was just like, but you learn, right? Like, I've never been a mother before. I've never had to teach these things. So it's like now I'm learning certain things I have to show him, you know, because I'd just be expecting him to know, like, there's a string, there's a thing, you're smart, you're into engineering, you know, but no. Yeah, this is a place to live. Oh, somebody was in here trolling. You know, we ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Scissorhands. The shirt does not match the live. Oh, don't match the live stream. I think it do because it's good vibes. Here's the good vibes. I'm on vacation. I got to listen now. Listen, Scissorhands. I got to get to it. There's a build up. Okay, I got to tell you where I was to where I am now. So sometimes you got to go through the fire to get to the good stuff. Okay. Thank you, Blinky Mickey. You got to be patient. Okay. What up, Antonio Mills? Salute. Cal says, folks, this is a place of love and positivity. Keep your trolling asses on another channel. What up, Prince Bud? Good morning. How are you doing? Oh, he called me beautiful. Where y'all on vacation at? Oh yeah, ATMS, I'm sorry. Ocean City, Maryland. We're in Ocean City. And I'm not worried about nobody coming to get me, because guess what? Your girl keeps it on her. She keeps that thing on her. Especially with me and my son traveling. Buddy, I keeps it on me. Plus this place is so big, you'll never find me. You'll never find me. Shoot, you got shit, 190th Street all the way to 20th. Child. Me too, hillbilly. I hope it grows. We'll see. I'm not worried about it though. You know, I created this channel for posterity for one, you know, so that way when I'm long gone, my son and my grandkids can come on here and learn about me and watch me and hear some things. So that's why I have to, it's really, really hard for me to get on this channel and not talk about God because of everything he's done for me. And I want that to be reiterated out here in the universe and even on the interwebs and even in real life. We should really be talking about God to people we meet in person as well, right? That's so important. But we understand that a lot of people are stuck to their devices like me. So, you know, I have to talk about God and, you know, so if, you know, when I pass, my son will have something that he can go back and watch, you know. So that's number one. Number two, you know, if one person gets something out of my message, then I won. It's a good thing. But it would be nice to see it grow. It would be nice to see it get bigger. Every time I do a live and the live is longer than an hour, I always gain like 5 or 10 subs. So that's a cool thing. It would be nice to get to 2,000. But to be honest, I'm not really worried about it. It would be nice, but you know, in the beginning, I did all the things that they say to do to grow your channel and all that. And I'm very consistent, but right now I only have like 500 watch time hours, and I go live a lot. So it's just like, I don't know where the disconnect is. So, I let it be. I'm not worried about it because it is what it is. They control it. They control who gets what and when. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I believe if I were to go to India and log in on somebody else's stuff, you would probably see ads on my stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting paid for it, but they're not giving it to me. So it's just one of those things. It's there can only be a few winners, and it is what it is. Plus, I've taught the algorithm that I don't need monetization in order to go live. I'm going to go live regardless. So it's like, why give her monetization if she's going to go live anyway, So it is what it is. But I appreciate you, Hillbilly. I know you got that Confederate flag, but I ain't worried about it. I time Bill he needs because he needs a profile pic. Well, don't time anybody out. That's the thing, right? Only people I want timed out, honestly, are like legit trolls. He didn't seem to be a troll. So I'm not worried about it. The profile pic could be offensive to some, but it is what it is. He was very respectful in the chat. And, a lot of times we can have differences of opinion and come from a certain era and like what we like and be what we like. But I think as long as there's a mutual respect there, I don't have a problem with it. If he's not talking bad about women in general, or if they're not being racist, they're cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Or if they're not spamming, saying just the dumb things over and over again, stuff like that, I ain't got time for that. But the profile pic, I don't care about that, Coach. But appreciate you. Come on, somebody. Making lives cussing folks out is not good. Yeah, but those are the people that get monetized, and those are the people that make a lot of money on this app too. When they come on here and act a fool, I've seen it. They be having hundreds of thousands of subs. I'm like, dang, I gotta act out to get you either gotta have a super talent or be super charismatic, super beautiful, or funny, or have a lot of money. I think, to make it on these apps like that. But Blinky says, I'm glad you are so positive, especially since there's too much hate already in the world and people just be speaking darkness into the world in general. They do. And that's where you have to just learn to just click off or move around. There's a couple people I had to really just let go because they were just super negative, like all the time. Like every time I talked to this one person, it was just negative. Like, it's like, hey, how you doing? I say, hey. And I don't even give my whole spiel because I already know this person is calling because they just want to talk about them and what they got going on. And it was every time like clockwork. Every time. So I just stopped responding. So now when they text me, I keep it real short. And I think they know what's up because they don't bother me as much anymore. Because like, she don't want to hear this shit. I don't. And you a man? Hell no. Whining all the damn, do something about it. Like, do something. One time I made him so mad he cried. And this is a grown man. He cried, like literally. I was like, yo, I can't do this. This is too much work. I'll pray for you. Say any reckless in the chat. Permanent ban. No exceptions. That's right, Project Leroy. Bad energy, get bad energy. Exactly. You give what you get. That's just that. Talking about God is the disconnect. YouTube doesn't like that. I believe that. I believe that it is me. I do believe that. There are people, though, that do talk about God, but that's their niche. Their niche is to talk about God. So like when you have the pastors on here and the online preachers, stuff like that, that gets traction, but that's because that's all they talk about, But when you are just a regular person on here and you drop the word of God, they don't like that at all. That's why you'll see those funny characters in my chat, or words like atheist in there. just to mess with me and to discourage me from talking about the goodness of the Most High. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Montgomery, that's the goal, is that he will remember all of my talks, because sometimes I'll be really needing it to sink into him, and I have to always just stop and just look directly at him and be like, look, son, I'm telling you this for a reason. There's going to come a time where you're going to need to know this, and I'm praying that everything that I'm teaching you and talking to you about sinks in. That's why it's important to not just have one talk. You got to have multiple talks. Just like in the military, it get ingrained in you. I know that dumbass Air Force song. I know all of the core values. I know all that, because it's ingrained in you, and they hammer it every single day. Every day, right? You got to say the pledge. You got to say this. You got to say that. So I have these talks, and I have to remind him of certain times, so that when he's older, it'll come back to him and be like, ooh, my mom told me about this. Antonio Mills says, I'm going on vacation soon. It's much needed. I know that's right. Ooh, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. And even though I'm only 3 miles away from my home, just being on the road helps to clear my mind, number one. And then the fact that I'm not where I'm at makes a whole difference. Sometimes you just got to get out of where you are, change your environment and your scene for a while, and do something different so you can just relax and not think about what's going on back there. Because when I get back, I got a ton of stuff to do. Like, my next week is going to be crazy. And it'd be a lot. It'd be a lot. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. So it's so important to take care of your own mental health and to do what you got to do, man. Scorpio Mama says, I'll share my flag with Hillbilly. It is me says, I'll sub when I know what you about. First time hearing you. God is a great start. Okay. Well, stick around. Hang your coat up. Chill for a bit. Yeah, we all need it. I stopped watching negative channels too. I know that's right. There's a couple I got to stop watching now too. Because when something triggers me enough to where, it's, I'm aware of me, and I'm aware of my body, and I'm aware of the feelings that I get. And whenever I get that feeling, it's a certain feeling, y'all. That's not a good thing. So if I get that feeling when listening to certain things, watching certain things, that's my cue to exit left. Don't stop believing. We were listening to that song the other day, Alien Cowboy Farmer. Love that. My son loves that song. When we trying to get pumped, don't stop believing, son. Don't. A-team. A whining one? Ooh, that's not a good look for a man. At all. But you a grown-ass man with grown-ass kids, and you whining like a bruh. I was like, the first, second, third time, but then it kept going. I was like, oh, this nigga think I'm his counselor. This nigga think I actually, and I ain't gonna lie, I was trying. But when you turn down counseling, when you turn down faith and belief, there's nothing else for us to discuss. If you're not smart enough to know that you need, he was the type of person where he would go to the counseling sessions and be telling the counselor what the counselor need to do in their life. He was one of them. I think he's low-key narcissist, but I'm no doctor. I can't diagnose him. But ain't nothing worse than a whining ass man. Ooh! Ooh! I know the Bible talks about it. I got to get into Ephesians because it talks about the conduct of a man. And that ain't in it. I got to go get me some more coffee, y'all. Coach says, I think the way Mo just addressed the rebel flag issue, Jesus will use that to witness and change people's mindsets. Yeah, hopefully. You know, you can do what you do. As long as it doesn't directly affect me, we good. You know, or you ain't doing nothing to my people. I gotta go, but it was nice seeing you. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you, Miss Montgomery. I appreciate you so much for stopping by. Have a good Saturday. Have a good, productive, and good Saturday. I appreciate that. She seems like a really sweet lady. They got the air show going on here, y'all. So that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. What up, Skitty? What up, Nostra and Dave? Blessings. I know that's you. I know it's the same guy. How are you doing? I hope all is well. Oh, I didn't see what Steve said, but I know he can't afford it. Just by the fact, you listen. When people get on here and they be talking cash, they ain't got nothing else better to do. So they want to make other people miserable. That lets me know you ain't got it. You ain't where you want to be in life. Because, you know, that's all you do is troll. You know? I respect the funny troll. At least come in with some jokes. Oh, Cal says he hasn't had one in a while. Yeah, he retired, so he's on vacation every day, okay? Every day is his vacation. Where is that Starbucks at? I seen a Starbucks down here. I think it's down here. Is it the other way? No, it's got to be down this way. What up, Gary? I was watching a lady the other day, and she had bought an oyster for $200. It was this big old oyster, right? And I honestly did not know that clams and oysters could get that big. But somebody was on her chat saying, so they filled it. It would, of course, it had the oyster in the bottom, and then they threw crab and shrimp and all that other stuff inside of it. So that's why it cost $200, because the oyster itself was huge. Plus, you know, so there's a Chipotle. So whenever there's a Chipotle, there's a Starbucks nearby. Word. Oh, so somebody in the chat said, "Oh, you paid $200 for that? I would never spend $200 for that." And as she was eating it, she said, "Just say you ain't got it, baby. Just say you ain't got it." I laughed my ass off. That is a quick way to humble somebody. I tell you what. Ooh, that was, just the way she said it was like shade. But I left a comment and said, although I could afford it, I wouldn't buy it either. Well, no, that's not what I said. I said, there are certain things that I could afford that I just wouldn't spend the money on, right? I said, but when it comes to food is something I'm gonna spend money on. I don't give a dang. Like that restaurant we went to the other night, I think our tab was $150. No, it was $107. And I left her a $25 tip because, and I would have left more. I'm a generous tipper. I get that from my grandfather and my mother. I would have left more, but I felt like she was rushing us at the end, and I didn't like that. And I told that to my son because she came back with the goodie bags before I said she was like, she goes, "Are you guys doing good?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm getting full." And I said something else, and she's like, "Okay." And so she leaves, and then, I said, "Give me a couple more minutes," right? And she comes back literally like 3 minutes later with the bag, with the bag and the thing. And I said to my son, I said, "She's rushing us," right? But I said it kind of jokingly, but serious at the same time. And she was like, oh, no, I'm not trying to. And so, I taught my son, we always talk about the tip. I always tell him, what does he think a good tip would be? We base it off of the price, the customer service, and the taxes. And they don't have, their taxes are really low here. Sales tax are, everything else ain't. But I was like, I want to give her more because, they rely on tips. I said, however, don't rush me. Don't make me feel like I'm being rushed. Especially with me being the only one in the don't do that. But that food was so good. It was so good. It was worth it. It was worth it. But that's one thing I will spend money on some good food. I am a foodie. I'd rather spend good money on food than anything else, honestly. Yes, early retirement. Shout out. Prince Bus says, when I go to football games, that's my vacation. I know that's right. What almost killed you? Oh, he's in Tallahassee. Isn't Tallahassee at the top? Is that the one that borders what is Tallahassee border? Let me think. Geography. Florida, Tallahassee. What's up top? Gary understands Scorp. I went to FSU and I'm from Palm Beach. Okay. Cinchel, some peanut M&Ms today. I agree. I'm going to South Carolina. I can fly, but I'm taking the Greyhound. I love seeing the greenery from the bus. Nice. I ain't been on a Greyhound in forever. I'm going to tell y'all the last time I rode the Greyhound. After this, I started catching the train. So I was living in LA. My ex was living in San Diego, back home. So every month, every 2 weeks, either I would go down there or he would come up here. I was going down to see him. At this point, he had already gotten locked up, and I was going to visit. And I caught the Greyhound. And the Greyhound was packed. Like, there was nowhere to sit. So there was 2 of us standing in the very back. And I'm like thinking to myself, first of all, I know this is illegal, but maybe the next stop is closer. So, people are getting off, whatever. 1 second, y'all.
Welcome to Starbucks. What can I get for you?
Hi, can I have a grande white chocolate mocha with almond milk and no whipped cream, please?
Okay. And that's hot or iced?
Hot, please.
Okay. Almond milk and no whip.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
All right, I'll see you at the window for 6:13.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I always compare the cheapest I've gotten that exact drink was in Kentucky. $5.25. I said, "Ooh, I'm moving to Kentucky. I know you like $5.25." And the most expensive I've had it was probably Cali, and I think it was like $7.50 for the same drink. Journey got them hits for real, okay? Oh, so Greyhound bus, right? So I'm going to see my ex in prison. We was together 3 years, engaged. He made a dumb mistake and got 20 years. I'll never forget. May he rest in peace. Love you, Marquise. So anyways, ooh, the booger just flew out my nose. What happened? Oh, so I'm on the bus and standing in the back because I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm looking at all these men and I'm like, I said, all these men on this bus and ain't nobody gonna let a lady sit, right? Mind you, I'm 20. This is before I went to the military. I was like 20. And no, there was even a lady that was like older or pregnant or something like that. And one dude, I said, hey, there's a pregnant, you got to, and he got up and let the pregnant lady sit. But it was just like the fact that I had to say something was astounding to me, right? So anyways, We get off. I'm back home, San Diego. And this guy comes up to me. He's got on shades. Very cute. Very, very cute. He was African. He was from Eritrea. And he was like, hey, he was like, I heard what you were saying on the bus. And I said, and he said, I would have gave you my seat, but I got into a fight and my rib is cracked. And he took off his shades. That motherfucker looked like a raccoon. I said, yo, somebody whooped your ass. I said, what happened? He said, I went to my boy. I said, my boy had a wedding. He said, my boy had a wedding. And everybody was drinking too much. And one thing led to another. And they got me. I was like, damn. I was like, well, you're excused. I said, I understand. I said, I wouldn't have given up my seat either under those circumstances. I said, but the rest of the men, that's unacceptable. Blah, blah, blah. He was like, I understand. He was talking real because he was hurting, you know what I'm saying? But he wanted to let me know that if he was in good condition, he would have let me. So, you know, one thing led to another. We exchanged numbers and he came up to LA to visit me. But that was short-lived as well. That was short-lived as well. I ain't gonna get into that, but that didn't last very long. And he was a high school teacher and had the nerve to tell me, because I asked him, I was like, I said, you teach high school? And at this point, I had graduated like 2 years prior. And I was like, what is it like? Because he's young and he was cute as all get out. So I'm like, how do you deal with like the teenage girls? I was like, because they look, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, I ain't even gonna lie, it's hard. He said it's hard. So I always kept that in the back of my head, like, you know, because I've been violated as a child. So I always think about these things. But I mean, I appreciated the honesty. But it also let me know, you know, you are young too. You know, self-control is probably not there all the way. And I was thinking of these things at my age, at 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, I consider a lot of shit. Just because I've been through a lot in life. Oh, that air feels good coming from in there. I adore Gary. Me too. Uh-oh. You hate the nose. Go Buckeyes. Nola Brada in here. Blinky Mickey. Hey, Mo. Do you remember that cartoon character called Snagglepuss? I'm sure you do, because you just quoted hit exit stage left. Snagglepuss? No. I've heard it before, but I don't think I've ever seen it before. But I think that's what my mom called me when I missed my 2 front teeth came out when I was a kid. Snagglepuss. Roll Tide.
All right, 6:13 for you. There's going to be a prop up there first.
Sure.
Perfect. And it was hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Thank you. Y'all, I watched this short, had me dying. This dude goes through the, no, he's sitting in his car. He doing them car ones, right? He said he was gay, right? So he was flamboyant as hell. And hold on, I need my specs because I can't drive it. Listen, y'all, I am blind, okay? He had the Twix coffee drink and the Hershey's coffee drink. So he mixed it in this cup, swirled it around. You know how they be doing. Started drinking it. I'm thinking he's gonna take a sip and be like, oh, that's a good mix. I'm gonna do this from now on. No. This man drank that thing. Literally, it was a cup this big. He drank it. He took maybe 4 pulls. It was gone. And then went, and then started to give his commentary. I said, I know you lying. I I know you lying. And somebody in the comments called him the throat goat. You had to be there. You had to be there. Because I know I'm not explaining it as funny as it was. You had to be there. If I could repost shorts, I would. But I don't know how to repost shorts. Like anytime I hit the share button, it makes me do a collab. And I don't want to be doing a collab on everything. I just want to share it. So I don't know how to do that yet. I seen Chelsea share a short one time and I'm like, how did she do that? Then I forgot to ask. Who remembers Black Couch remembers that cartoon? Yeah, Black Couch, let's see. Black Couch is almost 60 and my mom was 62 when she passed. So even though he's Gen X, he remembers a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's something my mom used to say that. Shout out. Oh no, you're not getting me again. You're not getting me again, Johnny Bender. You got me last time. I'm on your ass. I caught myself this time. Baby elephants. It's still love. He's chilling. Look at Chelsea trying to be nosy to get some. Chelsea trying to get some tea. Who was the boy with? Don't worry about it, Chelsea. Don't you worry about it. Okay. Okay. Mama got to have a life too. Okay. What's crackalackin'? A-Team says I didn't grow up surrounded by weak men. I know that's right. I'm gonna have to wait till I get back to my spot before I can read, okay? Because I don't want to. Even though the speed limit is only 40. What up, Lauren Krause? How are you doing today? I promised Bishop I would take him for breakfast since we missed the breakfast at the hotel. Plus it's not, that continental stuff. They got the little pancake machine and stuff like that, but it's not good. Plus they don't have no fruit, no eggs. They got like a sausage and egg sandwich thing that they prep, and that's his favorite is breakfast food. So I'm gonna take him. I used to like Denny's back in the day. I saw Denny's down here too. I was like, I used to like Denny's. I know people don't really care for Denny's for whatever reason. Like, I guess there was some racial profiling back in the day. But I always been a fan of, like, I never had no issues with Denny's. I like Denny's overall. And I actually used to prefer Denny's over IHOP. But my son is an IHOP fiend. Oh, he love him some damn IHOP. Why does this keep smudging? I didn't grow up around weak men. They always figure life out. Now, one of my shortcomings, very low tolerance for whiners and complainers, point blank. I can't do it either. I just can't. It's a turn off. It's not good. There's nothing wrong with venting and getting things off your chest. Everybody's got to have some space to let things off, to blow off some steam. But once you do that, now it's time to get to business. It's time to figure out what we gonna do now. But if it's the same thing that you're complaining of all the time, this literally went on, I'm not gonna lie, for like a year, 18, to where I finally had it. People that don't take accountability for what they did to get to where they are now, I can't stand it. We got to be honest. And at one point, he stopped talking to me because I kept it real. And I told him, I said, you the common denominator at this point, bruh. This is the reason why. And he cried. and was like, that ain't right, that ain't fair, da, 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 and then stopped talking to me. I'm like, good. Good. Because some people, you know, you gotta keep it real. Blinky Mickey said, I ain't seen that cartoon in years. Blinky Mickey, how old are you? Oh, you know her through Stash Cash? Okay. Stash Cash got accepted into Streamer University, y'all. Did you see that, Chelsea? I'm so happy for him. I like Stash Cash. The couple of times that I've gone on his channel, he was giving some motivation, like some really good advice, and was just like being real. And I love those channels where people just like feed into people, you know? So the couple of times I caught Stash Cash, he was doing that. Last couple of times, he just be on there just chilling with the chat. But whenever he does talk about something, he gives good, he be talking real positive. I like that. But he got accepted into Streamer University. I'm like, wow. So that's gonna change the trajectory of his channel for sure. Just being in the presence of Kai Cenat and getting that notoriety from him is gonna boost his channel, you know, and then he's gonna learn some other ways to stream and really keep the people involved. So I'm so happy for him. Don King said, if you can count your money, you don't have money. Ooh, y'all heard, what's his name is a trillionaire now? Elon's a trillionaire after he dropped that SpaceX IPO. I've been waiting for it too. And I went to invest yesterday and it would not let me. It wouldn't let me. So I don't know if the IPO is closed to only certain investors or you have to invest a certain amount. But I mean, they were listed at like 150, 163. I was like, I have the money. It won't let me. So I'll wait and see what it do on Monday. But it's definitely going to go up and then everything will adjust and then it's going to come back down. So my goal, honestly, is to invest, let it go up, and then cash out a certain amount and keep some and then see what it do. That's the goal, but we'll see. But he is now a trillionaire. He is the first trillionaire, American trillionaire is what the news was saying. Crazy. What up, Prex? All from the 70s. See, I'm a 70s baby, but I was born in 78. December 31st, the very last day of the year. So I'm technically a 70s baby, but the 80s is my era. The 80s and the 90s. Yes. Cal says, give me a filet from Texas Roadhouse and I'm good. Yep. It is better to give than receive. Absolutely. You feel better when you give. You know? And if you're able to give, that in itself is a blessing. Just to be able to give somebody something is a blessing. That means you blessed if you're able to give. Maybe even before the 70s, like Bugs Bunny era or something. Yes, I love Bugs Bunny. Oh, you know that Bugs Bunny cartoon? Not cartoon, but the movie? There was two. There was one that was made, I think, in 78 and another one like in 83. And I love both of those movies, but I grew up watching the one from 78. Oh, that was my show. My granny had the VHS for that. Blinky Minky says, I'm old. Who a 5 head? Hold on. 4. Only 4 fingers, but I do have big fingers, so. What up, 3 a.m.? Ollie Must says, I wouldn't have tipped if I was rushed. Yeah. I think it was just a misstep on her part, you know. And I think she regretted it, you know, because she was super nice after that, and she was nice before too. I just didn't like that moment. It just felt, I didn't like it. Antonio says, give me 26 ounce steak. That's a lot of meat with the sauteed mushrooms and mashed potatoes. That sounds good. Maybe you meant 2 6-ounce steaks. It's best to say what's on the mind, but in a nice way. And I listen, I was nice. I promise you I was nice. Because I have a heart. And I know how to tailor my tone depending on who I'm talking to. A couple is two, you should have said a few more minutes. She probably thought too literally. Oh, yeah, probably. She probably, because she was young. She probably, you know, and young people, they take everything literal. They don't know, you know. But I explained to my son, you know, when you go overseas and you dine, there's no limit. You could just sit, and Couch can attest to this. Like in Germany, you could sit for 3 hours and just chill, and they let you, you know, converse with your people, have fun, and just chill, drink, eat, all that. And there's no rushing. It's when you're done, you know. So when you're used to that, or when you experience that and you come here and it feels like we got to get you, I don't like that. Right, Charles? Being rushed at the doctor's office. Like, you done took forever with this last patient. Now you trying to get me out because you done went over your time and now you late for mine? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You a foodie too? Yep. I love my own food though. I know that's right. What up, McTayman? Chelsea on one today? Oh, you border Georgia. Yeah. Yeah, Tallahassee. It's super hot there, right? Because I was looking for areas of Florida that weren't as hot or humid, but nah. What live meat to marry? Shrimp versus lobster. Who you got, Mo? I like shrimp better. I like both, but I'm not about to be spending money on lobster everywhere I go. So, but if I had to choose, probably shrimp, because I can eat shrimp, you know, at least 2 times a week. But I love me some lobster, and they have a place here that's advertising for lobster rolls. I'm definitely gonna get one before I leave here. But the best place to get lobster roll is up near Maine, where my grandpa's from Connecticut, so we would go there, and he would go to Maine, which is not far from him, the border, and grab live lobsters and bring it back and boil them and stuff. Antonio says this 226 not feeding itself in Tallahassee is the capital. It's close to the border, Georgia, about 45 minutes. Oh, okay. Ain't rode Greyhound since a teenager. Yeah, I was 20. That was my last time. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Greyhound got the craziest people on it. And when I think about like how people are today and riding the Greyhound, make sure you got something on you, Nostrand. Too close for comfort. Yeah, fresh local shrimp any day over lobster. I know that's right. I don't like folks in my face. Get out my face. I caught some of it. I'll replay. People were getting off. Pause. Even church folk get on my nerves. Sometimes they are the worst. Like these people dealing with my neighbor and his family. I'm like, people that claim they're Christian and talk about God and then turn around and do scandalous stuff. It blows my mind. But that's the world we live in, right? I know, Flying Booger. Oh, I'm way behind. Yeah, they stay on guard. Turned down for what? I'm telling you, woman, get hate, but men today are equally bad in their own way with selfishness. Absolutely. It's just a lot. Just people in general are just very selfish these days. You know, and some people were raised to be that way, and some get burned and then they just say screw everybody else, you know. Oh, you were in ROTC? You almost joined. I was a 4-0. I was a medic. I love white folks. I didn't hide you, my bad if I hit the wrong button. You got knocked the F out. Yeah, he did. Ooh, he did. He looked bad. Yeah, do some short stream, chop up your streams. It's real easy. Go to your video, click on the remix shorts button, and then it'll give you the option to create a short. Or no, it's I go to my community tab in the post, and I show you real quick. It's like 4 steps. Because before it used to be easy, it was real obvious. Then they switched up stuff on YouTube, and then I couldn't find it. And then I was like, oh, there it is. I can go back and, but YouTube will create its own live highlights from things that they think will make money. But you can go on there easily. Just go to your video and click the one that says whatever, and you make your own short based on that. Make sure you're watching your video at that moment where you want to clip it. Click that button, and then it'll take you right to that section, and then you can adjust it, real easy. They got more money than me. Did he sleep with a homeboy's girl or something? How'd he get exactly? I don't remember the story, but I'm pretty sure it was over a woman, or he was drunk and talking mess. Who knows? Yeah, that's right. 18. Mo got them stories like CDT. I do. She say, I strike nerves, boo. Scorpio mama don't give up. Project Leroy says that pregnant girl on the bus should have effed the guy with a car. No man has to give up their seat they paid for. Project Leroy, you a mess. Project Leroy, one of the other ones that don't give up. Okay. And my man that was in prison, he used to take care of me. This is why it's really hard for me to just settle for just anything, because when you have people that will die for you and will do everything, really treat you like a woman. I mean, he always made sure I was fed. When my mom left and went to rehab and moved to LA to go into a rehab that would accept her and my brother, because he was still a baby, he was 2. He let me move in with him. He was roommating with this girl named Christina, and they were just friends. And he let me live with him for a little bit. He looked out for me. He always made sure I had food. He always made sure I was, fed, and that I had clothes, and man, he was just a really good, he was a good man, but he made a mistake, because he gave me a ring. We were going to get married, and he wanted to provide, but he knew what he was doing wasn't going to get it. And he made a mistake and robbed 2 places and got caught in armed robbery at that, and did some other stuff. And and I'm like, why did you do it? And he was like, I did it for you. And I'm like, don't put me in it. You didn't do that for me. You did it because you wanted to take a shortcut. You wanted to get a nice lump sum of money so that we could get married and start our life. But that's not how that works. We were together for 3 years. Oh, and he treated me so he loved me more than I loved him, for sure. Yeah, I can't do oysters either, Blinky. Coach says, I have a friend who is a teacher, fine as, but we had the same discussion about the female students, and he said the same. Keeps me from dating him. Exactly, because you just never know how far they'll go, or if they're willing. I mean, the temptation is there. And when you're young and you're handsome, and these kids like you, and if one looks older than what she do or he do or whatever, you just don't know. So yeah, same. Where's my grandkid? He in the room chilling. The Gators are sorry. Just wondering, is flamboyant and charismatic the same thing? No. Oh, okay, Couch. But did it make you laugh? If it didn't make you laugh, then I didn't tell it right. Belt ass. Some people shouldn't eat while they are alive because their table manners are atrocious. Smacking turns my stomach. Yeah. The VC crew says if you're walking down south, but you're going up a hill, are you going down, up, or south? All three? I'm good, Lauren. Yeah, they are prescription. I lost my other ones, y'all. Never found them. So I bought another pair, but these ones are all black. The other ones were like brown and they had some cute design on the side. Oh, I love those glasses. But these prescription are up to date. So I'm good. I shouldn't have been wearing the other ones anyway. Maybe that was, by happenstance for my own good. Because then I would have never got these ones up to date. Yeah, Denny's back in the day was good. Yeah, their skillets were good. Oh, Shoney's. Shoney's is in the South, right? I don't think we have that out here. When I was in Tallahassee, they used to make breakfast sandwich. The donut was the bun, and they did mini combos. Whoa. That sounds like something that be on that dives in, and whatever show. Oh, it's changed. It's gross. Okay, so we're not going to go there. Waffle House used to be good. All of them fell off now. Yeah, because they be doing too much fighting. The crew, they got to train to fight rather than cook good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to make sure my boxing skills is on point. F these waffles. So that food don't be, it just be greasy. Thanks, Blinky. I knew he would what? Complaining, folks. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm all the way. Oh, he said, I'm not mad at Elon. Don't invest in that mess. Why not? Couch says, I appreciate Elon. Elon Musk, a millionaire of Trump's corruption, yeah. They all in the same. Anybody that's in the 5 and 1%, they're all one and the same. All one and the same. He's a trillionaire because the government funds it. They do. And they do. And they do. And he's not American. That's the crazy part. He's not even from here. And he's able to capitalize on all of this. Wild. But I think he is an American citizen now, though. User says Elon is the biggest welfare queen. Yeah. So is Ukraine and Israel, if we want to be real. Musk can kick rocks. I think guys like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are selfish. Those rockets launched make up all of the carbon footprint in the few short minutes, and Musk is doing it for legacy and record books mainly. Yeah, because he don't need the money. He's just doing it to be able to say, I'm the first to do X, Y, and Z. But yeah, when you talk about that carbon footprint, they're talking about, I just did a project. I'm taking a class on strategic decision making, and it's about, because I go to an aeronautics school, so I had to do a report about a company that wants to be more fuel efficient, more comfort and luxury, and fuel efficient, comfort, upgrade technology, right? So they want to build a new fleet of aircraft because other airlines have done that each, and they're able to get a piece of the aeronautical or airline space money. And so I had to write up a report, a business report on how they could get to that point, blah, blah, blah. But as far as being fuel efficient and, not leaving a carbon footprint, we got all this stuff in the back end happening. You got the data centers, you got people flying to the moon. One of his spacecrafts just blew up. All of that is going into the environment. Yet when I go on Southwest or Delta, they have the breakdown of which airline, not which airline, but which schedule has the least carbon footprint. Is broken down into carbon, so you can pick it based on that, right? So they want to act like people are so concerned. No, I'm looking at the price. What's the cheapest? If I fly at 8 versus 2, I don't give a damn about the carbon footprint. Even on my credit cards, they're talking about carbon footprint. If you buy this, it's going to cost this much carbon footprint. It will be released, if you order this, because it has to come from da-da-da-da. Y'all care, but you really don't. It's all a farce. It's all a farce. Lauren says, can't wait to have a steak next week for my B-Day. Going to eat a lot. I know that's right. Happy early birthday. You don't trust that mess, but it is the way of the world. And investing is really just a way to secure funds when you really need it. You know, I invest because I have a son and I need him to have certain things. So when he gets older, you know, I've made 35% on all of my investments so far, you know, so I'm happy with that, you know. What up, Thunder? Yeah, happy early birthday. Faxmo in Germany, dinner is at least 2 hours. We will sit there and just chill, have conversations and just eat and be merry. I have to keep that mess up. Things are different outside the States, they are. Must be a millionaire off of Nicole Tesla's stolen ideas and inventions. That's the thing. People can invent things and have ideas, but if you don't have the money to generate it, to manufacture it, to create it, that's what happens. I have a problem, more like a conundrum. I'm not sure what to do. Well, tell us, Thunder. Maybe we can help you solve it. Blinky Faxi stole the whole layout. Greyhound is for folks who can't drive or aren't allowed to drive. Ah. I'm sitting there listening like, ooh, for real? I just learned something. That was funny. But no, Greyhound's not that bad. I just, let me see if I can do this right, y'all. Hold on. Let me take this. You guys still there? Oh. And it's nice today. Yesterday it was 94. Okay, there it should be. Did you watch the U.S. versus Paraguay match? No. The U.S. won though, right? And there's the pool that we were in yesterday. It's got a little waterfall in there and stuff. But yeah, proud of the U.S.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Which floor, sir?
6, please.
Hey. Who do they play next? Hey, Beta Moore. How you doing, Bakari? I miss you. It is overpriced. Lobster is definitely, all seafood is over. Everything. Have you guys seen the price of ground beef? I took my neighbor shopping for some beef, and it was like $9, $10 for like a pound, and it wasn't even like the best. It was like regular ground beef. Be up, it's me. Peace and love. Antonio says, I'll catch y'all later. I'm about to jump on my dirt bike. Ooh, be careful. Have fun. Be careful, okay? Thunder says, I was just in a position. Thank you, baby. I was just in a position that could benefit from, but it's not what I want to do. But an opportunity like this only falls in the lap of truly ethical or unethical. Oh, okay. Well, if you know you're going to feel bad about it, don't do it. Don't do it. If you think it's going to affect you negatively. Did you eat anything? You can have one of those donuts until we go eat. Can you give more detail? A little bit more detail? PL? Actually, let me set you, oh shit. Let me set you all right here. I mean, there's nothing like a good opportunity, but you really do have to think about everything, okay? This is what my class is about, strategic decision making. So you have two types of thinking, right? There's system one thinking and then there's system two thinking. System one thinking, and it's based on this book here, you guys, very good book, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. This is actually one of my books that I have to read for school, but it's a good read anyway. My coach for school told me to get that book and have it anyway, so then it just happened to be like on my syllabus for this class. But system one thinking, system one, hold on, let me get some, let's get a little, oh shoot. Let's get some scenery going. So system one is thinking fast, right? It's what we naturally do. It just comes to us and it's like, ooh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna go that way, right? It doesn't require much thought. It's really just based on emotion and, selfishness, right? System two thinking is slower, it's deliberate, it's intentional, and it requires more time. But that is, depending on what the situation is, you got to take your time and you have to consider everything before you do it. So think about what you want out of it. Think about what it's going to take to get it. And you got to think about the long-term effects of it, right? So there's tactical, strategical, and operational, right? So what's your strategy going to be? How are you going to get what it is that you want out of this opportunity, right? You said it just fell in your lap, so it doesn't sound like you have to do much, but now you got to worry about your short-term goal. What is it going to take to maintain it? And then where do you want to end up? So it's with unethical people. So unethical in what way? Like in their personal lives, bad business practices, because a lot of times how you are just in life in general is how you will be in business as well. So that is a good thing to consider. You're stuck in the middle. You're not really stuck. You can either go left or right. You're a man and you can make decisions for yourself. And if you were able to obtain an opportunity like that once, you can do it again. So we just got to think about what that opportunity is and what makes these people unethical. Antonio says, thank you for your service. Big brother has been serving 18 years now. Ooh, he's a Green Beret. That is impressive. That's so cool. Yeah, it's hot. Yesterday it was 94, today it's 78. So at least we can be outside and do things and stuff like that. We don't have to wait till the sun goes down. He says, if I entertain these things, will never be the same and I'll never be looked at the same. But at the same time, if I don't go through with it, people will never look at me the same. I need more context under, or just email me. Email me, moperspective@gmail. No E at the end of perspective. I can't imagine what that would be. That people will, if you don't do it, people gonna look at you. So if you're worried about the people that presented the opportunity, if they're gonna look at you funny, then don't worry about it. Because you don't want to be in business with them anyway. But if it's people that you respect, that expect you to do this, or they need you to do this, then you got to think about it. But I really need more context. Yeah, lobster's overpriced. Yeah, nice meeting you, Antonio Mills. Come back. What did Project Leroy do? What you drink from Starbucks? I always get the white chocolate mocha with no whipped cream and almond milk. And somebody said, that sounds fun. I'm like, it is. It's good. Even without all that extra. SYBAU? What does that mean? Yeah, for real, Bakari. Racist and divisive folks, this ain't the place for you. No, we don't want that. We don't want no racism in the chat. Not at all. We all have our personal opinions and our personal experiences with people of different nationalities and races. But overall, we want to be respectful. That's the whole point. Hey, A-Team, it's go good. My term ends the end of August. Yes. Hopefully I will have a graduation story by then. Nice. You go, girl. Lauren, you are so close. You are so... August is down the street and around the corner. Okay? It's right there. Oh, that's what you were doing. Well, cool. My ex went to Embry-Riddle for that. That's what's up. What is your ex doing now after they graduated from Embry-Riddle? What? Oh, no, that's a plane carrying an advertisement. The air show is going on though. It's all the way down there. Is Alicia Baumgartner ever gonna fight Clarissa Shields? Cause she'd be the only woman to beat her if they weighed the same. I don't know. They should fight. They got enough tension going on. That would be a really good fight. I thought they were set to fight. That's why Clarissa was doing all that yapping. What, baby? Right now? Give me like 5 minutes. I know. But you slept till dang near 11, so chill. I know you are over it, girl. It's almost over. Data centers are Skynet. Yeah, they are. Everything is being controlled, I promise you. Great, you can do focus on positive. I don't care what else is going on around you. Channel in on your schoolwork. Yeah, channel in on the schoolwork. Yeah, it's gonna be a carbon tax. Sure is. Oh, but because you chose this flight, now we're gonna charge you X, Y, and Z. Yeah, baby, I need you to turn that down some. Don't be disrespectful. Exactly. I'm coming back in August. I'll be there in August, Bakari, God willing. And I'm going to take my son to, I'm still deciding on Universal Studios or Disneyland. When I was 12, I went to Disneyland for my birthday, and it was amazing. So it's going to either be Disneyland or Universal Studios. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to be in LA. I'm going to San Diego. I'm going to be there for a couple days, chill with my daddy and my brother and his wife. And then we're going to go up to LA, stop in Oceanside to see some family. And then we'll be in LA for like 2 days. And then I'm going to come back to Dago, do more family stuff. And then they are A-Team. It's crazy. And we have one being built in Virginia. And I am so distraught. And it looked like by the time they alerted the community, it was already underway. So there was no way for us to be like, hey, we don't approve, you know, from what I understand. Yeah, I know they are different weight classes, but they called each other out and have been back and forth with it, trash talking. It's kind of funny too. Yeah. Who's bigger? Is Clarissa bigger than the other girl? Yeah, I want to see you. There's Hillbilly. He's back. Yeah, you have to be careful on a Greyhound. For sure. For sure. Okay, Project Leroy is back. We are still here. Present in the classroom, Coach Chels. How long you going to... Oh, you're at work. I'm getting off now because I've already been on here for 94 minutes and my kid is hungry, so I'm going to take him to get something to eat. I think what you're doing in Antarctica is maybe defrosting the planet for extra land and precious metals to capitalize on. Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. But that's okay, because God is not happy with what we got going on here. You know, the earth is the devil's playground. He gave him dominion. So it is what it is. And we are wreaking havoc. And we're doing everything that he already knew that we were going to do. But guess what? There will come a time where people will pay. I promise you. I promise you. That's why we have to be careful what we do and the decisions that we make. So Thunder, I really pray and hope that you make the right decision based on what is right and not necessarily just like money. Because if it's issue about money, you got to remember that the love of money is the root of all evil. So if you love money more than your standards, that could pose a problem. But I want to know what it is, because it might not even be that. It might be something else. All right, Couch, thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good day. I eat seafood when women excuse my bluntness and women excuse my... Oh, you only eat your pescatarian? Okay. I think if they add a carbon tax at some point, the people will protest, boycott, riot over it, and it won't be pretty. There's so many things that's happening now that I thought a lot of people would protest and boycott, but they haven't. Because there's too many people that will just pay it. Too many people that just be like, okay, whatever. That's just like rent. You know, I don't rent, but I understand the not the irritation, but the, you know, why it is the way that it is. I mean, $1,600 for a 1-bedroom is crazy. I was just looking at the local news here, and they're having an issue with the county, and they're talking about the rent here. And I'm like, $1,600 for a 1-bedroom is crazy. It should be illegal. I don't understand why the government is not regulating rent. It's foul. But nobody's protesting over it. Nobody's going crazy over it. Like all these people who can't get, you know, affordable housing should be rioting.
Hello. Not quite the outfit we discussed.
Yeah, A-Team, she be encouraging for real. You got that on your reading list. Yeah, it's so interesting because look, I was reading the first chapter and I was already like, and I was smiling because they had us do like some sort of exercise, and I was like, wow, this is really how people be thinking. And my son looked at me and he said, I haven't seen you smile like that in a long time. And I was like, wow. So the book must be really good, but I also need to smile more.
Yeah, you do.
That's another great psychological book from what I've heard. Yeah. Bye, Trevor. Thunder says, I had 3 different ladies come to me for assistance for their grandchildren for little odds and ends. They made it clear that they will not be paying it back, but that there will be an exchange after. This, all accounts will be paid in full and close. Okay. So we're talking about some real, well, how about this? If you have it to give, and you're not going to need it back, then just give it without any strings. I mean, that's an easy one, Thunder. All you got to do is just not accept the exchange. If you are interested in any of these women, like really romantically, and would like to see a future, let it be known, you know, that I'm doing this for you because I really like you and I care about you, but I don't want anything in return. But I am interested in seeing you. Maybe we can go out on a date or something like that. But, or you could pay for the date and we can get to know each other better. Maybe something like that. But if they all want to pay you with that, and you don't feel comfortable doing it, then don't do it. I definitely wouldn't encourage it because we know what it sounds like. It sounds like prostitution, right? But it doesn't, you know, but I don't understand how that's a good business opportunity. Or are we talking about 2 different things? Oh, such a bitch ass. I like that. SYBAU. I'm going to use that. December 31st. Hey, Mo Perspective, can you say what's up like they do in the movie Scream? What's up? Is that how they do it? What's up? Email you my phone number. Yeah, email me. He has been in the Army for years. He still is. Not sure if he does anything outside of that, though. Who? I must have missed that part. Sorry. But I have a feeling that if I accept the terms, they will let some of their friends know, and this may cause a problem. You did this for her, and why not for me? Absolutely. Yeah. Because women talk. So you just have to be careful. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I'm a woman, right? So speaking from a man's point of view, you know, some men will probably be okay with it, especially if, you know, they think it'll be worth it in the end. But if these are people that you don't know and you actually care about them and you have it to give it and say, but I'm not going to be able to do this in the future. Give it and then let it be done, you know? So, okay, Bakari, I'll let you know. Thunder says, but I have a feeling that if I, okay, yeah. Peace all. You too, Lauren. I'm about to get off of here too. Alicia Baumgartner. Be welterweighted. I think Clarissa Shields is, Clarissa's a heavyweight for a woman. Okay. I know I talk a lot of crap, but I don't think I want to live that type of life. No. And you know if you about that life or not. You know if that's something that, that's going to work for you or that you're going to be okay with, you know? So you gotta think about that. Oh no. This seat is uncomfortable. Maybe that's my cue to get off of here and take my kid to take him to go get something. Most of them are single or widow. Okay. I understand, Thunder. But that's no reason to do that. I thought if you were gonna make some money and make some money back, but it's really just about fleshly pleasures, which I know, you know, people be wanting. But I wouldn't make a habit of it, darling. I just wouldn't. And you know you're not about that life, so just say no. Hey, thank you, Bakari. That was sweet. Appreciate you. Joe says, Mo, I had the same discussion on Agree to Disagree, but I bet you can guess which one had an issue with what I said. Oh, of course. Super can. About the housing prices and rent. Yeah, him and Tina Mo went back and forth about the price of housing and how a lot of these millennials and Gen Z can't afford housing. It's really sad. A lot of people in their 30s and stuff have to live at home because of the way the prices are set. And it's robbery, and people are just capitalists and greedy, and they have a right to be that way, but in the grand scheme of things, is it right? You know, we talk about that in my class too, about certain decisions that we make. There's this rational theory, rational choice theory, where it talks about making decisions that are not just going to be good for you, but be good overall for all the stakeholders. And unfortunately, you have a lot of people that only think about self, you know? So, hey, Janesta! Don't worry about the notifications, guy. Happy Saturday to you, too. Replay, gang. I know it's silly, but I wonder if he had to deal with the same thing. Who? If who had to deal with the same thing? Who we talking about? Nate? What up, Zachy? He said, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. See you later, Mo. See you, Blinky. I want to help, but damn, I'm not trying to lose myself in the process. Then don't. And guess what? If they really care about you and know you and are cool with you, they'll understand. If they don't, F them. If they don't, just, it's okay. There's a lot of people in our lives that we don't need in our lives, you know? But at the end of the day, you got to be true to you and always have standards, boundaries, and expectations for yourself, dignity for yourself. If that means they not going to be cool with you after that because you decided, I'm sorry, it's just not for me. I really don't want to. It is what it is. But that's just my opinion. I'm just one person. I said the same thing. Oh, okay. Oh, A2D2, but I get why Ken has to defend his stance because his job depends on real estate. Well, yeah. And he's a capitalist, right? He believes in capitalism and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Being in that field, they see things differently. It's hard for them on the outside looking in. And I have a feeling that a lot of things that people say, whether it be on this app or just in real life, the things that they say, they don't care until it affects them, until it hits close to home. You know, there's a lot of people that say a lot of things. I'm not talking about specifically about him, but there's a lot of people that I hear say a lot of things on this app that are just really, really bad and demonic. And I be thinking to myself, you say that now, but when it's your daughter? You say that now, but when it's your grandkid? You say that now, but when it hits close to home and it affects you, you're going to be singing a different tune. What's Philly Rock? Appreciate you. Thanks, Blinky Minky. You don't want to be the new Nate. Hell no. That ain't you. Because then you're going to be looked at as a neighborhood trick. And you don't want that. Take it from these athletes. They are learning to set boundaries with their finances because you can't pour into others. No, not in that way. You got to like me for me, not just for what I can do for you. Yeah, Nate said it is what it is. But Nate had one cup. We don't know how many he had. You got 3. That's a lot of heifers. Needing this and needing that. It's the summertime. What do they need? The kid need new clothes. It's summertime. During the summertime, I go to Walmart or Target. But they have a lot of t-shirts and shorts and place clothes at Walmart for cheap. What up, Facts Not Feelings? Peace and love. Make sure the standards do not change when dealing with different people. That's right. Every person, you got to be the same with everybody. Don't let this one get away with something that this one you know you would never. Come on now. Tell it, Facts. Show me a black capitalist and I will show you a fool who will sell himself into slavery when the market is right for it. He said it, not me. Everybody got a price. But when you're dealing with a certain type that's okay with certain things, you got to look at this. What are they operating in? That's somebody that will sell their soul because they love money. So it is what it is. Facts Not Feelings. I got to remember that one. That's true. Yeah, it's true. I got to agree. Now, me and Facts, we don't be agreeing on a lot of that. But on that one, Thunder says they said they need a little extra for the lights, water, gas, and groceries in one set theme park. Okay, yeah, because, you're right. When the kids are home, a lot of that stuff does go up. Like my electricity bill goes up, things like that, because the kid is home mostly for the summer. So I can understand that, yeah. And everything is going up in the summertime, yeah. You just don't want them to think you are their number one option. You should be the last person that they're coming to for help, right? That's like my brother. When he comes to me, he's already exhausted all of his options. So he says, before he came to me, because he don't want to have to ask me, right? But you just got to make it clear Make it clear that I'm gonna do this, but don't make it a habit. I've told that to people before, like, I got you, but don't make this a habit, because next time it's a no. You know what I'm saying? And then just don't take the punani. Just don't do it. Damien says, try living without it. Try living without what? Capitalism, it's here. It's not going anywhere, right? Capitalism has to exist on a certain level, but extreme capitalism, like the way these landlords and these companies, investors that hike up the prices and have the nerve to triple your rent when your lease expires, that's bull. It is needed because we have to be able to get money and make money and things like that. But at the same time, it shouldn't cripple people to where they can't live on their own. You know, you got all these businesses laying off all these people, and the ones that are still there are grateful for their job. However, they're doing the work of 2 and 3 other people. You go into these grocery stores now, the lines are long. It takes forever to get things done, to get to that person, that one. That's because you got one person doing the job of 2 and 3 because they don't want to pay for the other people. They want to keep their profits at a certain margin rather than being okay with losing a little bit of money in order to help the economy. But no, people are selfish and they're not thinking, you know, from a humanistic standpoint. It's all about the mighty dollar. And if you do good service, and if you treat people good, and if you pay them what they're worth, they will do good work. And if they do good work, your profit margin goes up. And that's really what it is. Hey, Queen Adaya. How are you? Blessings. Supply and demand, and the population is expanding. So is the demand. Yep. Coach says they've monopolized renting housing market with Airbnbs instead of being starter homes, and luxury apartments are taking over. Yep. Facts. Thunder says, thanks. I will try. I'll give it my best effort to make an attempt to not become Nate 2.0. Don't do it. You already know you're not about that life. You don't, because then you'll set a precedence, right? Even if you do it for one, you'll set a precedence and they'll think, okay, if I need some money, I need it. So you don't want to buy into a person thinking that they got to give their body up just to get a couple dollars for this, this, and this, you know? It's a trickle effect. You know what I'm saying? And it's all based off of your one. Now, mind you, they are grown and they have the right to choose and do what they want to do. They're grown women. They know what they, whatever. But you don't want to be responsible also for helping somebody, assisting somebody to go in that direction of trick. You just don't want to, do that. You don't want to do that to yourself, because then it becomes easy. Then you're like, well, I just want some. Let me just give her a couple dollars and I know she'll bring. It will become a habit. I don't suggest it. I just don't. What do you mean open source? Somebody else's fault. Got it. Capitalism, as the West practice it, is on its way to a dustbin. China version of capitalism is destroying the West, and that's a good thing. I got to look more into that, because you're more well versed into politics and all of these things than I am. What up, Montauk? Queen says, exactly. They rather overwork you until you pass out for the mighty buck. Yeah. There's so many people that are just complaining. I mean, I'll go in a store and these people just look exhausted. I told you about my situation at the bank. These people are just exhausted. You got 2 things, but 5 stanchions, but only 2 people working the teller line. 1 banker, and then 1 branch manager, and constant flow of people coming in and out. And I didn't even think people went to the bank like that, but they do, especially if you own a business. Sorry, I don't know what happened. It just went bye. It just went bye. F capitalism, as she drinks the 7. But I got it to spin. It's one of my weaknesses. Yeah. And I told you, I said, I'm not saying completely F capitalism. I'm saying there's levels to it, and there's a certain level of it, you know, ridiculousness type stuff. You know, when people can't live, when people can't have the basics, that's the problem I have, right? What everything that's on the bottom tier of Maslow's hierarchy, when people can't have that, that's a problem. Open source, that's a problem. But me, I can afford a $6.13 Starbucks twice a week. You know? I save my money. I invest my money. In the West was not designed to help the masses leave poverty. True. It was designed to keep the designers of it wealthy. Yeah, while the masses stay fighting each other for crumbs. Yeah, it was designed that way. And it's working, and it's been working. Yes, the love of money is the root of all evil. You can't love money that much. You just can't love it. If you love it, you'll be ruled by it. You'll do anything for it. Anything. You know? But on that note, you guys, I have to bid you adieu. I got to take the kids to get something to eat, and we're gonna get out here and party like it's 1999. And then I got to come back and knock out my last assignment. Capitalism can be a powerful servant, or it can be a cruel master. The choice is yours. Yeah. Yeah. Either get in where you fit in, or be like he said, one of the people on the bottom fighting for crumbs. We have to really do better about setting ourselves up. I mean, I will watch people who have made the worst decisions, and now they're online begging and asking for people to cash app them and da-da-da. And it's just like, how do we get to that point? We really have to start examining the choices that we made in life. How did we get here? I could have done X, Y, and Z. In the future, I'm going to do this. But we all got to pull ourselves up. We all got to figure out a way. I think business ownership is the key at this point. Working for other people, you just never know, because they're not going to be loyal to you, you know? So when you're working for other people, but everybody can't do that. Everybody can't start a business. Everybody can't. So the best thing to do is to learn a trade, get good at something, educate yourself, train yourself, something, so that you can set yourself and your family up, you know, for the future. Because it's a cruel world. It's a harsh world out here. This it's not good. So stack your money, save your money, invest it if you can. At least put it in a high yield so that it's earning at least 4% back. But there's little things you can do. Make sure you have life insurance for your family. Make sure, you know, there's things that we can do. But nothing comes easy that's worth having. Everything takes effort. Everything takes sacrifice. You know? And I know it's hard, and sometimes we'd rather just chill and do nothing, but that's not the way of the world. The Bible says you don't work, you don't eat. And they're talking about man, but man and woman, right? Because a lot of us are single. So you got to get out and work. You got to earn that money some way. Giving up your body. I'm not going to judge. That's for the Most High to judge, but some people do what they feel they have to do. That's really not the way. You're adding miles to your body and subjecting yourself to disease and heartbreak and trauma every single time you do that. So I would never suggest that to anybody. But there are resources. Go to your county, get paperwork, look up resources in your county, programs to help you train for free. There's all kind of stuff, but they're not going to advertise that. You got to go and seek that, you know? It's out there, though. Facts Not Feelings says the reason why Iran is beating us is because of capitalism. USA make a missile for $6 million while Iran makes it for 60,000. That's capitalism versus socialism. Ah, okay. And we know it don't really take that much to make that for those materials. 6 million for one missile, that's ridiculous. They're doing this in Ghana. Chinese are trying to take over Ghana. Well, I know when I went to Jamaica, the Chinese had taken over a lot of their stuff. I was like, wow. They was like, we can't even get good jobs or open businesses because they come in and take everything and they have everything. So I'm like, that's a government problem. I said, that's when y'all need to deal with your government, your president, when they're allowing all of these people to come in and just take over because they're all making money. They're all in pocket with each other. Oh, no, that's right, Sis Sigma. They said, I'm going to stay single. That's right. Chinese have some racist people, but yes, they are not taking over Ghana. That's the Western colonials. Ah, I don't know. Mama, I made it. Ah, what up, Joes? What up, Joes? Iran is not socialist. All right, y'all. I know you just got here, Juice, but I gotta go. You're gonna have to catch the replay. We was talking about everything, child. Everything. So you have to watch it when you ain't got nothing else to do when you cleaning or something like that. But I wasn't talking about nothing serious, nothing deep. Just catching up with you guys while I'm out here. At the beach. Me and my son are about to go get something to eat, and then we're gonna do mini golf, ride some rides, do some other stuff, and make it a fun day. Probably go to the beach, sit out there, get burnt all up a little bit, get a little crispy. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna be so chocolate, y'all. I'm already chocolate, girl, because you know, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, but I'm gonna be even blacker and more blacker once we sit out there on that water. Yahoo has given us the resources we need to tap in and go, that's right, everything we have, everything we need is right here. But because of capitalism, because of greedy people, now they charge you to drink water. They charge you for air. We've capitalized on everything. Everything. And this is not how he intended it to be. But this is where we are. At least I made it. Thanks, Mo. Yes, you did. Thank you. 10 lines. I think I had some before. Yeah. This is going to be even darker. Okay. It's going to be darker. Okay. Hey, Randall Powell. All right, y'all. I'm going to chat with you later. Love ya. Peace.